Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be doing the longest term review I have yet done on this channel. What you see before you is the Victorinox, I believe it's the 56905 Swiss Tool. I'm not 100% certain because there is no model number stamped on it anywhere, which is really a shame. And I've had this type of Swiss tool since the late 90s. And I have used them quite extensively. I have beaten on them. I have used it like a hammer. I've done things with this Swiss tool that would break a lot of ordinary tools. And it's still here. Now this is my second Swiss tool of this type. The first one that I bought in the late 90s and used the hell out of. The sheath actually broke. It was the nylon sheath, and I lost the tool, I believe, in a parking lot somewhere in the middle of winter, and I never recovered it. I went back, I looked for it a bunch of times. To this day, it still breaks my heart. I found this one in used condition at a gun show and was able to get a really nice price on it. I believe I paid $50, which is outstanding because the list price for these stainless steel Swiss tools is usually right around $100 or a little bit over. So, why am I so in love with this multi-tool versus any other? It's because I have tried SOG tools, I have tried Leatherman, I have tried just about every brand on the market, and either I've broken the stupid things, or they've let me down in one way or another, or the build quality of them has just been junk, okay? I know I'm being a little bit harsh here, and I know a lot of people like their Leathermans. I don't. I'm not impressed with Leatherman. Leatherman has a lot of nice features, don't get me wrong. But I'm just, you know, for right around $100 I can get something like this, brand new. And to me it outperforms a Leatherman. Whereas a Leatherman, what was it, the, can't remember which model it was. I'll put like text along here and how much it was, but it was well over $100. I was looking at it and it just didn't impress me. I was like, why would I pay that for something that looks like I'm going to break it? And I've had a few Leathermen. I've had what was that called, the Rebar. What a piece of junk. Oh my god. And a few others. Like I said, I've had SOG multi-tools. Just no. I always kept coming back to this Victorinox, and I gotta say it's just awesome. So in this model line, because they have several multi-tools out there, in this particular model line we're gonna just cover some basics. It's got a nice little saw that works really well, okay? We've got a can opener here. Let me get it up here. And on the very tip of this can opener, you've got a small, tiny screwdriver. Okay? Then we got a bottle opener. Excuse me. And a regular flathead screwdriver. Okay? Then we've got this chisel head type tool, and we got a few wire strippers or line cutters right there. Then you got, a lot of people call this the pry tool, and it's a really heavy flat screwdriver. And then you got a regular Swiss Army type blade. I'm going to go ahead and close those. And here's the nice thing, when a tool is fully open in this, it has a lock. I can't close this unless I disengage this lock like that. You got to pull this down, okay? And there's the spring for those tools. On the other side, we have a serrated blade. We have an awl. We have a Phillips screwdriver. We have a very fine, small flathead screwdriver. And we have a file that has a cutting edge here, by the way. Let me close those. And let me go ahead and close this guy. Okay, and of course, we got a very serviceable pair of semi-needle nose type pliers. Got wire cutters there that are built into the actual jaw. And these can get damaged if you try to overwork them. My old ones had some damage there. Some of the stuff I cut, I was really pushing the tool. And one of the things I really like about this tool, they didn't have to do this, but I gotta give the Swiss credit, is this ruler. One side is in inches, and it goes from 1 to 9 inches here at the end. So you got a ruler. Flip it over and you got metric. So you got centimeters, and it looks like it goes almost to 23 centimeters. That's just awesome. So you can sit here and you can measure something just like that. You know? And it folds down. Compact, and it's got some weight to it. And that's one of the things I hear people complain about. Oh, it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy because of the gauge of material it's made out of. It's heavy because it's designed not to fail. And I've held this in my hand like this and actually used this to drive nails before in certain situations. Awesome, awesome tool. So if you're looking for a multi-tool that's good, it's much better build quality than anything else out there. I have yet to see anything or hold anything in my hand that's as good as this tool. And now mind you, this design is from the late 90s. They've got, I think, 4 or 5 other designs out there now. And some of them are pretty loaded, almost like a Swiss Army knife with even more options for tools. There's one that looks a lot like this, but it's a thicker profile, and it's actually got the little scissors in there, and I was like, wow. I was actually thinking about picking one up. But the other thing I like about this that is so nice is when you're using the pliers, it's not pinching your inner hand. The contouring and the way this thing is made, I have never pinched my inner hand. Now with that Leatherman rebar, that thing pinched me, and I can't remember the model of that SOG tool I had. That stupid thing pinched me right here in the inner hand. It was almost like a bite. And I remember after it had done that a couple times, I said, you know what, I am done with this thing. And that's when I came across this. The first one I bought, like I said, in the late 90s, I actually was also at a gun show. It was pretty surprising. It was the year I think they first came out, because they were offering them at a discount. It was like $70 some, and the list price was $100 and something. It was like $110, $109, something like that. And I'll tell you, all these years later, I still prefer this over everything. And I carried this on my hip for all those years. I've repaired motorcycles and trucks and everything else you can imagine that has broke down alongside the road. Yes, I'm that guy that you drive by and you say, huh, I wonder what's going on there. I'm that guy. I have terrible luck when it comes to vehicles. But a funny story actually with this particular setup is I was at a department store. I was riding a motorcycle at the time, and I come out and I get on the bike and I start it up, and I pulled my clutch in and the cable broke. It broke right at the pivot for the clutch. And I was like, oh my God, no. You know, because I'm miles from home. like at least 8 miles. And I'm like, I don't want to be pushing a bike 8 miles. Well, I had this on my hip. I got it out. I grabbed the frayed, broken end of the clutch cable, pulled it in, got the bike in gear, and managed to get going. And once I had some momentum, I was able to slip gears at that point. Believe it or not, I got home that way. And I attribute getting home to the Swiss Tool. So, what is my opinion? After many decades of use, thumbs up all the way. Best multi-tool I've ever owned. Now, if you have a multi-tool that you feel as strongly about, hit me up in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say, because I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that has multi-tools. In fact, I know I'm not. So tell me what you think the best multi-tool is that was ever made. I'd really like to hear your reasoning. Okay? So until then, I'll see y'all later in the woods.